and no telling what I'm finna beyond. Hey, I'm beyond.
What's up guys, Dylan here today with a brand new video. Now the topic of the day is going to be Titanfall 2, the open alpha. Now if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you want more. Now let's go ahead and get right into the video. Now as you can see, from sitting down and calmly capturing an objective to having to grapple through a wall and sit there to save your life, this game can get pretty crazy, and it is fun. It's pretty crazy, dude. I don't know what that was, ignore that. But it can get pretty intense. Now as you can see right now, I'm kind of running into the battlefield. It's taking me a minute. I'm gonna grapple onto this building. I'm gonna get the coolest string of kills I've ever seen in a first-person shooter like this. Now just watch this. Watch. Like what? Now with that being said, let's get right into the upsides of the game, which is really just fun, enjoyable, fast-paced gameplay. Now, which is pretty different from the newer first-person shooters coming out, such as Battlefield 1, Mafia, if you want to put that in the same genre, even though it's a third-person shooter, and single player, I think, single player only. Call of Duty, I don't know how fast-paced Infinite Warfare will be, but it's supposed to have the same movement style as Black Ops 3. So, almost as fast-paced as Titanfall, but you know, Titanfall will still probably be the most fast-paced shooters out right now, or coming out. Now, one of the great things about Titanfall is that it's so fun to be able to maneuver around the entire map as you can, and do pretty much everything you could do in Titanfall 1 when it comes to movement. And all they've done is added more ways to be able to do what you could already do. Like for the grappling hook, for example. While extremely slow and unreliable to use in mid-combat, like trying to get away from an enemy or something like that, is so fun to use when you're just trying to get to the combat. Maybe like, you know, there's something going down over in the middle of the map, so you're like, hey, I need to get there right now. And yeah, that's an extremely useful way to use the grappling hook. Now otherwise, it's just fun to use. Maybe you're trying to get to an area to snipe, or yeah, you're just trying to get somewhere, and you know, it's pretty cool and unique, as I said. And it kind of reminds me of Advanced Warfare's grappling hook, which wasn't in the main game. It was added as a DLC, which I never got to use, but I've seen videos of, and it looked pretty fun to use. And it was in the campaign. But I'm not gonna give my opinion on Advanced Warfare today. But as I said, the gameplay for this game, for the alpha, is extremely fun and fast. It's fairly fast-paced, and they have a lot more potential than it has a lot more potential than it did before. And there's so many cool and unique things that they could add to the game before it actually comes out. And I really hope they do add Titan versus Titan to the game. If you don't know what that is, it would be a 6v6 with Titans only, and it was just so fun. Titans only with one life, and if your Titan died, you wouldn't die, you would just eject, and you could kill the Titans as a pilot, but it was a lot harder, because you know, their whole team is just Titans. But as of right now in the alpha, the only 3 game modes they have right now is Pilot versus Pilot, Bounty Hunter, and Hardpoint / Domination from any shooter. Now with that being said, let's get to the downsides. Let's go ahead and start with weapon balance. Now one thing I want to go ahead and say is that a SMG should not have a lower fire rate than an assault rifle and be getting outgunned by an assault rifle in close range. Now in mid-range and long range, yeah, that makes sense. But a SMG should not get outgunned by an assault rifle. It doesn't make sense. And the SMG for some reason has a lower fire rate than the assault rifle as well. It has lower stats than the assault rifle in every way. which doesn't make sense at all. I think it might be a placeholder, and those might not be the actual stats for the gun. But as of right now, it seems as though they are the actual stats, and I really hope they do change it. Even though the gameplay, I'm using the SMG the whole time, and it's really fun to use. But who knows? Maybe they'll change what it says for the stats, or maybe those are the actual stats. And I don't know. It's just weird. I don't think an SMG should have, you know, like a lower fire rate than an assault rifle and be able to get outgunned by an assault rifle when you're face to face. Now let's get on with the next downside. Sorry about that cut. Which is the Titan spawn rates. If you haven't played Titanfall 1, you wouldn't really know. But the ways of earning a Titan in the original Titanfall was completely different than how it is now. Which is, in Titanfall 2, you have to actually do good and play the game and like get a good, you know, score and do good in the game and play the objective. Now, that's not a problem because I don't really have a problem with doing all of that, but that really just borders off the not as good players and the just terrible players, which I'm not saying that I don't know. It's a really hard thing to say is a bad thing that they're doing, but I don't know. I just feel like they should go with the Titanfall way of earning the Titanfall 1 way of earning a Titan, which is have it on a timer. No matter how good you do, you get it. 4 or 5 Titans at a time will be out, and it made the game so much like more fun than how it is right now. Now, yesterday they did actually update the game to decrease the spawn rate and how many points and how good you need to do to actually earn a Titan, which isn't really a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because it's going to make the game a bit more appealing to the newer players, the not as good players, and you know, that kind of stuff. Those kind of players, you know, the bad players. It's gonna bring in a larger player base than what it would if it stayed the same way as it was yesterday, which was a harder way to earn the Titan, and you would only see maybe 1 to 2 Titans at a time the entire game, which just made it so boring. And as you can see in the gameplay, you're seeing a bit more Titans, because I'm pretty sure this was after the update happened. I don't know when I recorded this, obviously yesterday or today. I don't know if I recorded it before the update or after the update. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm pretty sure it was after the update, so that's why you're seeing the Titan spawn rate, the Titan charge rate go up a bit faster. You just saw it go from like 69% to 79% to 92%, and that is nowhere near how fast it would go up if you were playing before the update they made yesterday, as I said. Now, with that being said, the Titan spawn rates, they're getting a bit better. They're getting, you know, fixed. They're going back to how Titanfall 1 was. They're just doing good. They're good. They're good right now. It's not bad, it's not amazing, but it's just good. Now, with the next downside, which is the only downside that I am extremely against, the map design. The final and last problem I have with this game, as you see in the gameplay, they have 2 maps, a wide open grassy field with a couple of destroyed buildings and nothing there, nothing else. No city, no walls to run on, really. It's just so boring and uninteresting, and it's just horrid. It's not good at all. The maps are so bland in general, and I'm really hoping they're just showing off the generic and easier to play maps. Well, I wouldn't say easier to play, but the more generic maps for the alpha, and maybe next week they'll show off some new maps whenever they start up the open tech test again. Now, with the city map, I'm fine with it. As you're seeing on the gameplay right now, it's not a bad map. It's kinda cool. It's generic. It's super generic, but it's not as bad as the open grass field. I'm sorry, I was stretching. as the open grass field, which should, in my opinion, just be completely removed from the game itself. It doesn't fit Titanfall in any way, shape, or form. So, with that being said, do I hate the game? Do I think it's horrible? No. I feel like this game has a ton of potential, and that with single player and hopefully a bunch of new and cleverly designed maps, it could be a great game and not die within the first few months of release. Well, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This was my first Titanfall video of the year. There will probably be more. And yeah, I am out.